Yo, what's up? Back with another one. I am definitely trying to lock in for this year. I'm definitely gonna be uploading a bit more consistently. I mean, I haven't been the worst in the world, but it's definitely been. I definitely could be doing a better job than what I've been doing up to this point. I mean, I already have several videos up, but I kind of want to make it like one video a week. But anyways, so if, well, you may know by the title what this is. You already know by the title what this is, but how this came up is that if you may or may not keep up with Pokemon, Legends ZA came out about 3 months ago, and I've been grinding it non-stop. Well, no, I'm not. I haven't. I played for around the first 2 weeks, but low-key, I wasn't feeling it. I kind of didn't like the pacing of the story. This isn't a review, but anyways, I was kind of thinking like, oh, why don't I do like a fun fact or like just obscure facts, fun facts, whatever it may be, of each region. So I kind of want to do that. I don't know. Sounds like it'll be fun. I've played Pokemon forever since I was a kid. For me, my Gen 1 was Gen 5. Gen 5 will forever be in my heart. I love Gen 5. I do think that it is the best generation out of all of them. I don't care. Argue with anybody. Argue with the wall. Argue with your mama. Argue with whoever. I do think Gen 5 is the best generation. So, I do want to start in chronological order. So, I'm going to do Kanto. I'm going to do Gen 1. Now, I'm gonna be real. I have never finished a playthrough of Gen 1. Never. I have Pokemon Yellow. Not like the actual cartridge, but if you remember for Nintendo DS, maybe 3D, I think it was 3DS, not DS, I'm not sure. But for the 3DS, they added all the old Pokemon games and the eShop. So I bought Yellow and I bought Crystal before it shut down a couple years back, before eShop services ended. So I have a way to play it, but I don't know, man. It's something about Gen 1, like Kanto for me, just doesn't do it. I think it's just too simple for me, you know? But I definitely understand people that love it, because obviously that's what they grew up on, right? And I can only imagine just how different it was back then when Gen 1 actually was out. And it was the first generation, so I can definitely imagine it. But yeah, I've never really finished a playthrough of Kanto. I think the furthest I got was the 7th gem, and I think I was playing on an emulator. This was years ago, but maybe I actually do have though. I have Fire Red, like the cartridge. I have that, and on my Game Boy, it's somewhere. I don't remember where it's at, but it's somewhere. Maybe I could do that. I don't know, cause realistically, I could play like Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee, but no, I don't know. It looks amazing, but I just don't like the fact that the characters are different. I think this is going to be the only region where I do this because I feel like Gen 3 onwards is kind of where I'm like, okay, I can vividly remember stuff about things about each of these regions that I found interesting, and I could probably just do it myself. Maybe not Gen 2. I don't know, Gen 2. I have replayed it a lot of times, but not gonna lie, Gen 2 wasn't my favorite. But it's definitely grown on me as I've gotten older. But we'll see though. But let's just get into it. So, the first fact I have, fact, is that all cities and towns in the Kanto region are named after colors, with Palette Town being a reference to a color palette. Not gonna lie, I never even realized that. I mean, I can name some of the cities, like Saffron, right? Saffron City, Viridian City, Town? City? Town, right? Town. I don't know. I kind of forgot I was whispering, my bad. I mean, I could do soft spoken, right? But yeah, Viridian, palette, obviously, because as in the palette. Pewter, is pewter a color? It is, right? It is. Pewter is a color. Cerulean, is that a color? I don't know. Well, I'm assuming it is, given this fact, but I don't know. You'll have to fact check me on that. I'm not sure. Lavender Town. Lavender Town, right? Um, what are other cities? Celadon. Celadon. I cannot name the rest of them, but okay. And then I guess it makes sense because isn't like the Pokemon League in Gen 1 called the Indigo Plateau? I think, right? And then in the anime, I think the league itself is called the Indigo League, I think. I will say, I didn't play Gen 1, but the Gen 1 anime, yeah. But yeah, okay, I never really even realized that. That's something that Gen 1er probably knows, right? So next fact, I know this, right? But the Kanto region in Pokemon is based on the real world Kanto region in Japan, making it the only region with the name as its real world counterpart. Saffron is based on Tokyo. Oh really? Vermilion City is based on Yokohama. I hope I pronounced that right. And Pallet Town on Machira. Machira. I'm gonna say Machira. Okay. I did not know Saffron City is based on Tokyo. I guess that makes sense, right? I mean, isn't Saffron the biggest city, like in the region and in the games too, right? Okay. That makes sense. But I did know that the Kanto region is based off of the actual railroad version. Okay, next fact. Kanto and Johto are the only regions connected by land, and they share the Indigo League. Okay, so it is the Indigo League. Okay. Where did I get Indigo Plateau from? That's something though, right? Isn't that the name of the location in the games? I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. I don't know. So, one thing I will give to Gen 1, Gen 2, I love the fact that the regions intertwine so much. That is something I do love about Gen 1 and Gen 2, even though to be like a full circle moment, I guess, when you go battle Red at Mount Silver. So I mean, I guess, but I will give that to Gen 1 and Gen 2. Is that it just feels so connected. I don't know. But anyways, next fact: the real world Kanto regions means east of the barrier, which is likely why the Pokemon region sits to the east of Johto and the Indigo Plateau. Okay, east of the barrier. Like, what is the barrier referring to? But okay, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. So I remember, cause when I played Gen 2, um, I played Hard Gold. Now, okay, so when I play Hard Gold, right, I did not know that like Gen 1, Gen 2, as in like green, blue, red, yellow, gold, silver, crystal. I did not know those were things at all. I did not know about their existence. The only reason I ended up finding out about them was because I had a friend who gave me his Game Boy Color, and he had a cartridge of both silver and gold. Gold and silver, whatever. I usually say gold and silver. And I was like, wait, hold on. Like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that Heart Gold and Soul Silver were remakes of Gold, Silver, and I guess Crystal, right? Yeah, I think that's another reason why Johto ended up growing on me a lot more, because when I played Gold, like the original, it was so cool, but I didn't know that the save wasn't like, the cartridges are fine, but I think you have to replace like some little battery in them. So yeah, okay, I kind of yapped a bit on that one. I forgot where I was at. Okay, next fact: unlike later generations, the Generation 1 games don't feature a legendary Pokemon as a mascot or have stories revolving around one. This is because Kanto's design emphasizes technology and industry over cultural myths and legends. So, I mean, obviously, this is a given, right? And even to this day, right, I think Gen 1 is the only generation where it's like the starters as the covers. But I guess Mewtwo, right? Mewtwo and Mew are legendaries. Well, Mew is a mythical, right? But I mean, isn't a mythical still legendary? Or no? I don't know. I mean, I consider mythical Pokemon legendaries. But yeah, I think that is also something that I found really interesting about Gen 1. It's just that, and I think this also plays part of the reason why, like, Gen 1 has never really, like, caught my attention. It's because of the fact that the story is just so basic. Like, it's literally just, like, which obviously it's not, I wouldn't say it's a negative. It's just, it's the first game, right? And it's emphasizing you being a Pokemon trainer and not like the later stories, like the complex stories of like Gen 5, like, or even Gen 7. I think had a pretty, I feel like Gen 7 was pretty story intense compared to Gen 1. So I think that's why Gen 1 isn't one of my favorites, because I grew up with the more story-driven plots of Gen 5, even Gen 6 to an extent, even though, like, it wasn't the greatest. I still love Gen 6, though, and Gen 7. So, yeah. Let's see, next fact. Mewtwo, Kanto's main legendary Pokemon, is a man-made clone of Mew, reflecting the region's focus on industry. So, obviously, if you watched Pokemon the first movie, I'm pretty sure that's the one with Mew and much of the lore of Kanto. I really never knew that Kanto had a lot of these industry like themes. I really never picked up on that, so I don't know. Honestly, reading these is kind of making me want to play Kanto, but an issue I've been having with Pokemon as of recent, maybe like since like Gen 8, is the fact that the attention to detail isn't as good as it used to be. Like, you know what I mean? Like, with Gen 1, probably even Gen 1, right? Gen 1 through like 5, they put so much emphasis on like environmental storytelling. Like, some areas tell a story, and I don't know, at least when I played Let's Go, not when I played, but when I watched like gameplay of Let's Go and Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu, like the games look good, but I don't know. I think it's just I wonder if they did the same, if they fumbled the bag with how they did with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, where it just wasn't as good as the originals. Now, I do think that for Kanto, I'm assuming the definitive experience is Leaf Green and Fire Red. I'm assuming, right? Because Gen 1, like the original games, I heard had so many problems, like so many glitches. So I'm assuming that I would have to play Fire Red and Leaf Green. Maybe I should find a cartridge I have it somewhere in my room and like play. Or I can just pull up an emulator, right? I don't know. I'll see. Maybe I need to stop. Maybe I need to play Kanto. Maybe I need to play Gen 1 and see how I feel about it. But yeah, I never really knew Kanto like had these focuses on industry. I don't know, it's just to me like from an outsider's perspective, I always thought that Gen 1 was always about just like, I don't know, just the basics of being a trainer, just battling the gym leaders, you know, the side quests with like Team Rocket or whatever, and then just challenging the league. But okay, maybe I'll play, maybe, I don't know. But alright, next fact. Berries are almost non-existent in the Kanto region from Generation 2 onwards, due to the real-world Kanto region's volcanic soil, which isn't suitable for growing crops. Interesting. Is there a volcano location in Gen 1? I don't think so, right? Is there? I don't know. Does Kanto have a volcano? Oh wait, yes it does. Cinnabar Island, right? Yeah. Okay. How did I forget this? That's where the center of the gym is at. Okay, yeah, never mind. Okay, see, I wouldn't know that. I'm sorry. Gen 1ers, if any of you encounter this, I'm so sorry. But next fact. In Fire Red and Leaf Green, Janin, Koga's daughter, who later becomes the Fuchsia City gym leader. Okay, this is the gym leader in Gen 2, right, for Kanto, I think. But anyways, in Fire Red and Leaf Green, Janin is erroneously, I don't know if I pronounced that right, erroneously listed as Shireen in the Fame Checker. I'm assuming Fame Checker refers to when you... What is Fame Checker? As in like when you beat the league and get to like the Hall of Fame or something. I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. If anyone wants to clarify, let me know in the comments. Alright, second to last fact, I only have 2 more. Unusually personal details about Lorelei of the Kanto Elite Four are documented. is this, Mom? Has that been confirmed? I don't know. Let me know. But the last fact I have, in Generation 1 games, Sabrina and other trainer classes carried whips, 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 which were leftovers from early development where it was considered to have humans fight Pokemon themselves. I only know Sabrina's like Gen 2 design, so like I guess Gen 4, the Heart Gold and Soul Silver design, that's the only design I know. So I don't know what her actual, I don't remember it. What her sprite in like Gen 1 looked, so I'm assuming Shadow Whip. But it's interesting that they were considering that Pokemon was going to be like humans versus Pokemon themselves. That's interesting. But yeah, honestly, I think I should maybe play Kanto. I don't know. Should I play Gen 1? Maybe I should give it a chance. But I just don't feel like playing Let's Go Eevee or Let's Go Pikachu. I want to play either Yellow or I need to find my cartridge of Fire Red, or maybe I can just get an emulator and play it like that and just give it a chance. I don't know, because another thing about Gen 1, I love the Pokedex. I love it. It has some of my favorite Pokemon. I love Gengar. I love Rapidash. Arcanine. Venusaur. You can literally see. All three starters, honestly, I love them. I love Articuno and Moltres, still two of my favorite legendaries to this day. But yeah, maybe I should give Gen 1 a chance. But yeah, I think this is a series that I want to continue. I think I'm going to do the same thing for Johto, Johto. And maybe like Hoenn onwards, I can make my own, because those Gen 3 to present day, those are like not present day. Gen 9 wasn't really my favorite. Same thing with Gen 8. But I can definitely like make these be more informative with Gen 3 onwards, because those are like the ones I played a lot more. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I think this is kind of something a little bit different given the topic, but if you liked it, let me know. Or any suggestions that you have. Make sure to like, subscribe,